Hi everyone. Once again we meet you, and once again I'm meeting one of my favorite business partner from Malaysia, and definitely very close to my heart friend. Gaz, how are you doing?
Thank you so much for your amazing introduction. I'm good. I'm great. Everything is good here. How about you?
Everything is fine, but I'm just curious. When I'm talking about fine, we are speaking in English, you're coming from a
Uh,
very different kind of culture. You are actually from Persia, and your first language probably was different. And you mentioned the one day that you had some incident in your life, like you couldn't speak in English at, till the age of
correct.
18, probably, right?
Yes, that's
And
right.
I'm actually coming from a Bengali medium school where it was not that easy to speak in English, just like the way I'm speaking at the moment. It was not there
Correct.
in the earlier time till probably when I was 18 as well. I was actually speaking very little in English, even though I was writing in English, but the
Uh-huh.
the conversation part was not that good.
It
But
was not
not,
fluent.
yeah, it was not that good. Forget about fluent. It was not good. So
Mhm.
I would love to
Yep.
understand your perspective and your experience with one of the uh, most common used language, which is English. What is your experience there?
Correct. 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 Yeah. As you mentioned, I'm Persian native speaker, and I, of course, I was born and raised in Iran until the age of 24, and then I moved to Malaysia. So it's a very nice question, and I like to share my own experience with you and our audience. Yes, that's correct. At the age of 18, I didn't know English. But what happened to me? Since my childhood, it was my biggest wish to speak English. I would love to speak English. I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, just some nonsense words, even not proper words. I was talking myself that I'm speaking English. I was imagining I'm speaking English. In Iran, when you want to finish your diploma to get the degree, you must study for 13 years, not 12 years. The
Mhm.
13th one, as I was studying physics and mathematics, it's called pre-university. In pre-university, I had a teacher who was so serious. She was really serious, and she was my English teacher. She was too much serious and kind of moody. In her class, it was only two of us, only me and my friend. We were always presented in her class, and she was the first one who inspired me that yes, you must study English. I'm pretty sure you will be excellent because you are talkative. And she was the way she was teaching us was totally different. It was much upper level than only pre-university.
Right.
After her, once I got my degree, my sister, she told me, yes, have you ever heard of IELTS, International English Language Testing System? Because
Wow.
there are a lot of people, they still don't know about IELTS. I said, no, what is IELTS? Yes, you must go for English proficiency and you must study English. Okay, yeah, I would love to. I just knew some words, but I was unable to speak. Trust me, I was worse than you. Worse than you. Then I started studying IELTS for 1 year until IELTS advanced. At the age of 19, the first country I traveled with my dad, it was Armenia. I
Hmm.
remember we went by bus. In Armenia, in Yerevan, American University of Yerevan, the capital of Armenia, I went there to take my IELTS, to give my IELTS, sorry. IELTS academic. The first IELTS academic I got, it was in 2012. Then when I went there, I was like, wow, yeah, I really can make it. I was able to speak, but to be honest to you, Arjit, it was not because of IELTS. those days we were using Yahoo. We didn't have WhatsApp. It was no Instagram. We had Facebook, but Facebook unfortunately is blocked, and we can't use. Or this a lot of social medias right like now. But I was using Yahoo, and I was always connecting with Indian people, with Canadian people, Australian. Those I knew they know English or native speakers. And then I was talking with them. We were communicating through Yahoo Messenger, if you remember. And then at the age of 20, once I got my IELTS, I was still not too fluent. Now I knew how to speak, but not too fluent. So I was practicing with native people, which was really helpful, much more helpful than IELTS. Then at the age of 20, I felt like I can earn through the knowledge I have. I mean, English speech, because unfortunately my country is a big deal. Not anyone is able to speak. Then I started translating passages like notes for the universities and for all the students, my friends. And at the same time, when I realized, yes, I can speak, after my first time trip to Turkey, I started working as an interpreter, English vs Persian. So
Wow.
with an international company in my city, we started working with each other. We were traveling to Turkey because until now, traveling Turkey for us is easy. Then they were paying me each hour $120. And I was like, yeah, why not? So I can improve. I became more willing to learn more about English. And through this way, when I was keep improving my skill as an English speaker, English became my second language.
Wow.
Before, Arabic was my second language, but now Arabic is my third language, and I'm not too fluent like the past because I don't practice. And then I was working through this, and then again I was translating all the passages while I was living in Iran and studying my own in the university. And then I realized, okay, now I can make it. Then I came to Malaysia, and I also studied PTE, Pearson Test of English, which belongs to Australia.
Wow.
You will give the exam, but it's by system. It's by PC. It's not on the paper like IELTS. And then I for IELTS I also traveled to Dubai, and I made it. My second IELTS, both IELTS academic. The third one PTE. And now as a spokesperson, I try my best to inspire as much as I can. And honestly, I'm so happy because it was my biggest wish that came true.
Brilliant. I mean, it's not that easy. I mean, the way you have uplifted yourself and the way you have changed yourself is not that easy. So now my question to you is, when you have done it, and now you can speak English very fluently, without hesitation, and you can express yourself in almost all the places, and eventually became fearless. Do you feel that English actually helped you to become fearless?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. No doubt. No doubt. Of course. Of course. If now I'm living in another country like Malaysia, without being able to speak English, without the skill, trust me on that. Trust me on that. The first year I would go back my own country. It's not possible. It's not possible to work with people while you can't speak. Even you. When I don't know how to speak, how could I be your business partner? Could I? Of course not. You would ask me, okay, guys, now you're good at this and that, but please, you should improve your language, your speaking. Then later you can be my partner. Trust me on that.
I'm sure. I'll
Yeah.
tell you some, very interesting incident of my life. So I
Yeah.
traveled to Ukraine long back in 2018, and I made a friend over there. She used to be a singer in Ukraine itself.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, but the fun factor is she can't speak in English. Okay. So when
Oh,
we met with each other, she was singing in a beautiful opera. And then after that, we met because one of my friend, I call him as a brother, he used to run
Yes.
a beautiful, you can say, group of singers and musicians as a band. So he only
Yes.
introduced me to the lady. Eventually, she knew that I'm an artist, so she asked me, utilizing the translator, that can I draw her? So I was using the translator, she was using translator. Just think of the situation, both the human beings sitting in front of each other. I can't speak her language, she can't speak in English. So it became like utilizing the translator, we have been talking without any voice. So it became a muted picture for almost 5 to 6 minutes. And then she decided that she will be learning English. And I decided that
Wow.
to be learning a little bit of Ukrainian. So
Yeah.
another of my, I call her as my best friend, another of my best friend, Anne, she started teaching me Ukrainian language. And if you are watching this video, well, with a proudness, I can say that you are an amazing teacher. So I learned a little bit of Ukrainian because of you. And now,
Thank you.
guys, with that single lady, we often talk in a common language called English. And without probably a common language, it's not that easy to communicate with lot many variety of different people. And guys, what you have shared, it's not sharing of one language, it's sharing of life of a woman who is probably establishing herself in a very different country. So viewers,
That's right.
audience, whoever is listening to this, watching this, it is not that easy to learn a language. We completely understand that. But try and learn one foreign language in your life. It can be Spanish, it can be French, it can be English for non-English speaking people. Learn
Yeah.
one foreign language at least in your life. It's gonna help you a lot to understand culture if you have keenness to explore the world and work with multiple different countries. Guys, you did an amazing job. And with this note, I'll be asking all of our audience to probably put a note after this video is uploaded in social media channels. If you really
Yeah.
want to understand how to face your fear of language, I think we can help. We'll be more than happy to talk. We'll be more than happy to understand, connect, communicate, and discover how we can make things possible. Till then, keep loving us, keep blessing us. Thank you so much for watching. Sayonara.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Arijit. Bye, everyone.